The door was locked. I'd need a key to get through. I needed a key to get past the locked door. A locked door barred my way. I needed a key. I couldn't get past the door without a key. Without a key, I'd never get past this door. The pills would ease the pain. The pills would hold the pain back for a while. The pills would make the pain go away for a while. I had become a cold-blooded murderer. I had screwed it up. The stress was getting to me. I had made a mistake I'd never be able to fix. The pressure was too much. I had sunk down to their level. It wasn't worth it. Nothing was. I had found a key. Someone had forgotten his key. A key lay on the desk. A key lay on top of the drawer. There was a key on the shelf. There was a key on the table. Punchinello's trio was done for.
The flesh of fallen angels.
The letter was staring at me. The weird piece of paper looked dangerous. In the belly of the plant, molten metal boiled and bubbled like a witch's brew. Processing diagrams filled the control room screens. All but one. An elevator titled D6 on one of the screens. Somewhere onwards, past rows of ovens. In the core of the plant. The folder on the table told a grim tale. The monitor showed me the way, following a path of clues to that final revelation, even if it would take me down to the cold, cavernous depths of a grave. I had seen the logo on the floor before. Like everything else in the Valkyr case, the door code was a mystery to me. The chemist had been using the workstation when he died. The half-life of the lab rat had ended online, his password blinking on the screen. 665. The neighbor of the beast. I was caught in the middle of the deadly web that was the Valkyr case. One of the lab terminals had the project logo on the screen. The dagger-heeled woman had come and gone a long time ago. There was nothing more for me here. The bunker's name was acting as a self-fulfilling prophecy. After this you can go. You're a free man. A bad cop on the take. A cowardly right-hand man fleeing from the scene, leaving his paid thugs to do his dirty work. BB turned out to be another cardboard cutout bad guy. A payphone started to ring. It was an impressive floor show, but I decided to leave early anyway. It was only a one-story fall. Lucky me. One of the monitors showed what was left of the inner circle. A videotape lay on the desk. Woden had left me a present. Now I was close. I had a name to guide me. Nicole Horn. I had nothing to lose. The inner circle had quite a track record. Colder than a walk-in fridge. Cold as a gun. I had elevator access to the mainframe. From there I'd be able to override the security locks and get to her office. The unmarked chopper was Horn's pet guardian, inhuman and flawless. It was stalking me. All Horn's locks were now offline. All bets were off. The elevator would take me all the way up. Horn's personal computer was on. Seen from this height, the night seemed to stretch on to eternity. A hint of desperation had crept into the snowstorm, as if it was trying to get it all out before the end. I couldn't get to Horn. But the radio mast was begging to go. The support chains were about to give. The cables were too thick for bullets. I'd have to find their weak spot to cut them. They were all dead. The final gunshot was an exclamation mark to everything that had led to this point. I released my finger from the trigger. Michelle? Honey, anybody home? I didn't like the way the show started, but they'd given me the best seat in the house, front row center. My Beretta stirred nervously under my coat, but the train doors had already shut behind me, and I was in for the ride. Next stop, Roscoe Street Station. And Alex. The station was drenched in gloom. Alex was a ghost, nowhere to be seen. I'd have to look for him. The gate was locked. Alex wouldn't have set up a meeting at a closed station. Something was off. Death was in the air at Roscoe Street. I'd have to find Alex fast. The security panel let out a mocking cackle. I'd need the right code. Something big was going down at Roscoe Street. Maybe that's why Alex had wanted to meet me here. Maybe not. The power to the rail had been cut. I'd have to get it back on to get the train moving. The train lit up like a Christmas tree. The power was back on. The door had been welded shut ages ago, and the bomb was missing a detonator. The bank robbers had left their tools on the table. Judging by the detonators, the crooks had bought enough explosives to send Lady Liberty into orbit. The bank robber's score lay on the table. There was nothing I could do. He was dead. I could tell by the empty, accusing stare of his eyes. While looking for Alex, I had ended up in the middle of a big-time crime operation. The gate was locked. I would have to find another way to get to the tunnel. So much for being subtle. What the hell was that? One way or the other, I was going to find out. My cover had been blown, the door slammed shut behind me, and then I was dodging bullets like raindrops. A letter on the desk caught my eye. Getting out was not going to be easy. The staircase was locked and the elevator had been busted for a decade or more. This party had been dead for a while. I couldn't say I was sorry I'd missed the show. V-head junkies could go off without a warning. I had to be careful. I'd found Muerte's room. Muerte had received a letter. I didn't want to know what had happened here. It was not a pretty sight. A hooker had left her diary on the table. Exhibit number 1, a newspaper. A lifetime ago, this would have gone down as a narcotics arrest. The transparent cylinders glowed green, full of Valkyr. It was dirty money. The antique switchboard was still in use. Another bomb exploded inside the closest slum building. It was a lucky break. The goons inside were spooked, but luck always came with a price tag. More bombs could still be ticking inside, and the cops would already be on their way. Jack Lupino's suite was on the top floor. At least it used to be, before the explosive makeover. The headlines were a depressing read. Someone had left a letter on the counter. The whole building was rigged with explosives. The alternate route led there by way of adjoining rooftops. Vinny Gognitti was running scared. He could run, but with a bullet in his stomach like a broken bottle of Tabasco, he was quickly running out of time. He knew where his boss was, and I wanted to square things up with Jack Lupino. Gognitti would be moving fast. I don't know about angels, but it's fear that gives men wings. To get to the roof, I'd need to get to the elevator through the locked door up ahead. Thank you. A crumpled letter lay on Gognitti's desk. Gognitti hitched a ride. To catch him, I'd have to follow his lead. When the train he was riding slowed down, Gognitti made his move. As subtle with its dark message as a cop-killer bullet through the heart. Like father, like son. Just like Jack Lupino. This was the rotten core of the Big Apple. Lupino lurked somewhere ahead, like a spider at the center of his web, waiting. The vapors in the air started to make my head swim. The book had never been a bestseller. Karaoke never was my scene. Books on the occult had been piled on the table. Torn pieces of a letter lay scattered on the sofa. Lupino's notes covered the table. Lupino's notebook lay on the pedestal. Somewhere, the baby was crying. The pictures were filled with good old times. Michelle looked at me from the photo. Michelle's diary lay on the table. All I had was Niagara's bat, sticky with my own blood. Another newspaper caption for a murder scene. More evidence that Punchinello didn't like me much. Without a gun, I'd be no match for Frankie's men. I'd have to play hide and seek with them. Things were fast going from bad to worse. No Minotaur lurked in this labyrinth, but somewhere out there, on the clanking deck of his cargo freighter, the skipper of the Cheiron was waiting, like the ferryman of the river Styx. I doubted the letter was a receipt. I had found Boris Dime's ship. I knew it was a long shot. Angelo Punchinello actually showing up, but there was no crime in hoping. Punchinello was burning to get me. The feeling was mutual. He was trying to put out my flames with gasoline. The mobsters had been guarding a real treasure. The way out of this disco inferno. Upstairs, the trio tangoed down the manor halls to the silent rhythm of their murderous hearts. The blood of their victims rust on their lips. Vince Mignano, Pilot Providence, a.k.a. Big Brother, and Joe Deadpan Salem. The pistol was a frozen lump in my hand, piercing the skin, gnawing me to the bone. In death, the thug had been promoted to messenger. My fortune had been told. It didn't take me long to run into the trio. It was too late for her.